It's my pleasure to welcome you to this forum. In many recent elections, including in the Philippines, the results exposed deep divides among the voting public. As such, the challenges in the electoral process and the motivations and perceptions of voters also need to be examined, not just to understand the outcome, but also to help inform political and economic reforms after we vote someone into power.
I took a look at the election returns data set from last year's national elections. Actually, a very granular view of how Filipino voters voted. Essentially, we divide the country into voting clusters. Methodology used is what we call market basket analysis. Of the 50 senatorial candidates, which are voted together or bought together or selected together, for some reason, Recto, Lacson, and Gordon, you also get Drilon. If you get Recto, Lacson, Gordon, and De Lima, you also get Drilon, and so on.
If you're trying to pick 12 names and you're a voter from what the Philippines is a low information environment, people know very little about their candidates, what they do is they rely on heuristics or shortcuts in making decisions, cognitive shortcuts. And that's an advantage to the celebrity or the dynast whose family name is familiar. So it's really the name recall that puts them in office.
What is vote buying?
Vote buying is a pervasive phenomenon in many developing countries.
At the local level, they know actually who will vote for whom.
Accepting the offer doesn't really affect whether you will vote for the candidate or not.
Many don't see themselves as selling their votes. They give generally the money to those who are already sympathetic in the first place to the candidate. The money is like a reward for, supporting your candidate.
I think it would be interesting to study localities where not only gold is an instrument but also goons. Because intimidation makes compliance with the count more viable, no?
We believe that automation sort of defanged vote buying in a sense. First, because it rendered the voting process almost opaque to the people who want to see how the voters voted.
We assume that political dynasties are unhealthy for any democracy and that it's unhealthy for economic development and inclusivity. There's, of course, the anti-dynasty law. The question of, if we can't do that, can we do some kind of creative affirmative action policy solution to support non-dynastic candidates?
The realities that we see here is up for us to decide whether we want to change these or not.
If you're only learning about your candidates 6 months before the election, you're never going to know enough to make an informed choice. So this has to be a constant project. We have to always be updated on the news, and also importantly, we have to make sure that we hold our media accountable to make sure they're reporting to us information that is actually valuable for electoral decision making.
I hope that this forum will help foster dialogue and discourse among researchers working towards a stronger and more inclusive democracy.